Do we attract our desires into our reality? Do we move into parallel universes where our desire already exists? It matters, but it also doesn't matter. What I believe matters more, and a realization I've come to, is as a collective, especially in this environment now, you might feel like it's very turbulent. You might feel like there's a lot going on, and it can be confusing. It can be overwhelming on and from an energetic perspective. But what's really important is your convictions and the things you believe in. Once you start to be able to navigate this world a bit more fluidly, once you get an understanding of how you can attract desires or move towards desires, whichever side you're coming from, you also understand that we're in this with billions of other people who are doing the same thing. So mass ideas are a really important thing. And if there are certain ideologies that you feel are harmful or dangerous, then your conviction towards them needs to be minimal. The things that you want out of life and the ideals that you want to be true, you need to have more conviction towards those. When these big ideas get pumped out there, for example, like Elon going to Mars, and these ideas are adapted by the mass, that makes them more easily manifestable. That makes them more easily brought into our reality, or it takes us there. So it's really important to not only have conviction to the things you want, but kind of pay the stuff you don't want no mind to the best of your ability. Because even if you're reacting to it, you're feeding it energy. And as a collective, as a mass, we decide a lot of the things that are going on. And that's why controlled media and all this kind of stuff is such a huge, 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 huge ordeal. Despite it being profitable for those who want to profit off it, it can literally bend the reality of our world. Because when we're in this game, we have to understand that it's not just us manifesting as individuals. Everyone does it, right? That's why, for example, if you want a castle for your parents, they might not be wanting or thinking the same thing, and the people around them might not be expecting that to happen. So it makes it much more harder. When a mass group of people are expecting something to happen, it's way more easy to materialize that thing. And that's why, manifestation isn't instant in a lot of regards, right? Because a lot of stuff will just be popping out of nowhere instantly. It is affected by others. That is the truth. Yes, we have governance over a great deal of what happens in our lives, but we are here as a collective, and other people affect others. That's why it's a really negative thing to worry about your loved ones and worry about yourself, because you're calling in things. When you're doing that, it's better to think positive thoughts. And if a lot of your family members are worrying for you, that's not great, right? It's not attracting good things. Collective ideals are quite important, and it's almost like voting. We can all do our bit by having convictions in the stuff that we want to believe in and the outcomes that we want to be true for us as a collective, because it does affect us all. That's why the energy you put out, how you show up every day, affects not just you, but the people around you, and so on and so on. So it's our duty, when we get to a certain level of understanding, to put conviction towards the things that we want, the outcomes that we want, the outcomes that benefit us as a collective, whilst, still moving towards our desires. Yes, that's great. But also being able to see a bit further than that. And I wanted to kind of touch on that. When you're delving into certain things, whatever you want to call them, conspiracies, whatever, certain ideologies can come about if enough people believe about it. And that's roughly how it works. So take care and, govern the things you're putting conviction into, because it can affect the world, essentially.